section. It's going over a good and bad UI design. It's done by Abdullah Rubai, Edward Cord Jr., Zora Johnson, and Sabrina Kruger. And this is just going over two examples, an example of a good UI design, an example of a bad UI design. We will be going over the criteria on what makes a good UI design and a bad one in the next couple of slides.
All right, so what makes a good UI design? A good UI applies design principles to enhance the already present information, making the UI more intuitive and visually pleasing. We'll talk about the most relevantly used ones in our chosen UI.
So the first UI that we chose was affordances. An affordance is what a user can do with an object based on the user's capabilities. An affordance is not a property of an object. Here in the image, it shows that the buttons are clickable in the application. On the left side, it's just text in the places where it looks as if it can be clicked, but it can't be. Whereas on the right side, it shows that you have the option to click multiple answers. You can exit the screen at the top. You can also see your progress at the top of the screen as well.
So next up is our conceptual models. A conceptual model, as a design principle, is a mental model users and designers carry of how something should be done or read. As you can see in the bad UI, the user will most likely start at the cancel button in the top left corner and move their way down the screen, and then go back up to the top right corner to move on to the next screen. While there's nothing inherently wrong with this design, it can be hard to read and use, whereas in the good UI, it starts with the X icon in the top left corner, indicating the same thing as cancel, and then we'll follow the progress bar all the way down to the multiple choice and ending at the continue button. This feels more intuitive and makes it easier to operate because the main buttons are near to where a user's hand would sit, so it feels more natural and easier to read.
Next up, we have Constraint, which is the limitation of picking items on the device. The bad UI design has limits and only allows you to pick only one thing. As to the good UI design, it allows you to pick different options and can even decide on a specific date in which those things need to be completed.
The next and final one is signifiers and feedback. So signifiers and feedback shows user what has been done, giving indications. So it will help the users use the app and go over it in a more smooth process with indications and hints on what should be done next. So we have over here on the bad UI design, it's lacking a lot of indications and signifiers, including the buttons to choose which option, and it could be like in the bad UI design you could only choose one option at a time, while in the good UI design not only do you have the option to choose one or more, you also have picture indicators that makes it easier for a visual learner. We also have something that not in the bad UI design, which shows you the progress of where you're at and how long it will take you to complete, which is definitely way more efficient. We also have better pictures and buttons to continue and to keep going as a signifier to where are you in the process and how long it takes you for you to finish.